Wind, rain, even mountain snow. Mother Nature is serving up a triple threat this weekend. Tens of thousands in the dark as power outages spread across the Puget Sound. Plus, falling trees have been destructive, even deadly. Thanks for joining us on this KOMO weather-worn day. I'm Michelle Esteban. This is a live look from a traffic camera along I-90, and you can see the waves from Lake Washington. They are crashing onto the roadway as they have been doing all night long as drivers pass carefully by, so be extra cautious as you are driving tonight. You can see the whitecaps out there. Wow, they're angry. We've got team coverage this evening as we track the impact of the storms. KOMO's Tyler Cunnington in Roy, where a fallen tree claimed one life and injured others. But we want to begin with meteorologist Stella's son for a look at the watches and warnings in effect right now. Stella.
Michelle, we are under the gun with this fall strong storm. You can see that it has pushed inland over the last 3 hours. It has brought heavy pockets of rain, and we have seen strikes of lightning, snow, as well as those strong gusty winds that are taking down trees and knocking out the power. You can see the heavier pockets of rain that continue to fall through portions of the Olympic Peninsula towards the San Juan Islands, and we are starting to see that heavy rain making its way along the I-90 corridor, pushing its way towards Tanner. And where there is rain in the mountains, that means we've got some snow. We also have got those strong gusty winds with a high wind warning that remains in effect. It is now scaled back for Pacific County. You can still see it in fact for Grays Harbor County, parts of Mason County, Thurston, and Lewis County. We could see gusts upwards of 65 miles per hour. This will run over the next several hours. It should expire here at 2 a.m. We've also got a wind advisory for most of western Washington. This is where we have the potential to see gusts upwards of 45 miles per hour. A lot of these wind gusts will be coming from the south. There will be high seas as well. We've got gale warnings, small craft advisories, and high surf advisories. This is all along the shorelines for not only the Puget Sound, but through the Strait and towards the Pacific beaches. We're going to start to scale back in terms of the gusty winds by tomorrow. We'll still be dealing with breezy conditions, but I still have concerns for the heavy mountain snow. We could still be seeing upwards of a foot, as well as heavy pockets of rain, the chance for thunderstorms that could bring some pockets of hail. I'm tracking it all, and I've got those details of your forecast ahead.
There was a man that couldn't find his daughter and was just yelling her name over and over.
And with that weather hitting our region, a tragic story to tell you about in Pierce County. We know one man is dead, several injured after a massive tree cracked and fell on an outdoor Halloween event, crashing into booths where people were shopping and kids trick-or-treating. It happened at the Haunted Witches Market in McKenna Park, that's in Roy, just outside of Yelm. That's where KOMO's Tyler Cunnington picks up the rest of the story. Tyler?
It is truly staggering how big this tree is. You can see we're standing here in the parking lot. It ends here and it traces all the way back through this park towards the base of those other cottonwood trees. You can see these tent poles from all these vendors sticking in every which direction that got caught underneath it as it fell. Here you can see a few light up candles left on this trunk after a 31-year-old man was killed by this tree and several more were injured.
This is what they yanked out from under the tree.
Aaron Beadle feels lucky to be alive.
The images will be burned in my brain forever. That was traumatic, to say the very least.
Images of a massive cottonwood tree toppling onto a bustling Halloween market at McKenna Park in Roy.
It doesn't seem real. Look at that.
His hot dog cart was right next to the base of the tree.
It's amazing that I'm able to stand here and talk to you today.
The accident killing a 31-year-old man from Eatonville who was there with his girlfriend. 3 were taken to the hospital while 3 others were treated on scene, ranging from serious to minor injuries.
You know, I think digging through the wreckage afterward for people will stand as more traumatic in my brain than the event itself.
In total, 6 vendor tents were caught under the towering tree, including Savannah David's jewelry business.
If I would have waited, if I would have been 30 seconds later, I would be under the main part of the tree.
In a matter of moments, a woman she had just been talking to went from an acquaintance to a victim.
We were tearing the tent apart, trying to see if she was under there. She was sent to the hospital.
The dozens of families then scrambling in the aftermath.
It was just absolute chaos. You'd hear people screaming, yelling for their kids. There was a man that couldn't find his daughter and was just yelling her name over and over.
Both David and Beadle say although their businesses were crushed in this unthinkable accident, they know it could have been a lot worse.
My loss is nothing. Like I'll build another hot dog cart.
It just was chaos and devastating, and a lot of people are not okay.
Now, I spoke to one of the organizers who has faced lots of criticism online about why they held the event despite the storm warnings for Pierce County. They said they have had similar or even worse conditions in past events that they've hosted, and they've made out just fine, adding that there was no predicting something like this could have happened. That all being said, they say they feel terribly sorry for that victim's family and all the vendors who had their businesses impacted. For that reason, they have started about 2 fundraisers to try to help with financial support. Reporting here in Pierce County tonight, Tyler Cunnington, KOMO News.
Certainly more to come on that story. So sad. Tyler, thank you. For travelers in the mountain passes, there's plenty of snow coming down. Take a look. Yeah, it is sticking. A winter weather alert in effect for the Cascades. This is going to last right through tomorrow night. At last check, there were no restrictions along any of the major passes, although washed out reports compact snow and ice along White Pass. Well, that doesn't just impact us. It gets the animals too. The Woodland Park Zoo announced on their Instagram page that they shut down for the remainder of the day due to inclement weather. That announcement came around 2:30 this afternoon with this message: stay cozy. Good advice for all of us on a night like tonight. Tens of thousands of people are still without power this evening. Here's a look at the latest outages at this hour. Puget Sound Energy reporting a huge amount with more than 165,000 impacted. Seattle City Light reports more than 33,000. At last check, Grays Harbor PUD says they have more than 45,000 customers in the dark and the cold. And Snohomish PUD says over 20,000 customers all experiencing outages. New police body cam video shows the moment that an early morning car crash sparked this. They blew an electrical transformer, which knocked out power to thousands in Skagit Valley, Cedro, Woolley. At one point, 12,000 customers in that area were without power, no lights or heat in the city. That is according to Puget Sound Energy. By early afternoon, most of that power was restored. KOMO's Claire Weber with more on the response and residents bracing for stormy conditions.
I walked outside behind my house, heard 2 or 3 loud, big boom, boom, boom.
Ed Warner's Saturday kicking off to the sounds of damaged transformers after Cedro Woolley police say a car crashed at the intersection of Wicker and Fruitdale roads, causing roughly 12,000 people to lose power.
The power does this weird fizzle, and I could see that in like some of my appliances, and so I just turned the main breaker off in my house and waited for the text message to say the power was back on.
Puget Sound Energy crews working through the morning and afternoon to restore power for neighbors like Warner, who had his turn back on after about 4 hours.
I just happened to make a pot of coffee right before the power went out.
Over in Mount Vernon, Colleen Newton's power stayed on, but she's preparing for more wind and rain overnight.
We have generators and everything if we needed them, you know, to keep the freezers and things like that going.
Newton's not alone.
Like usual, people wait last minute.
Captain's Ace Hardware, also in Mount Vernon, seeing customers all week stocking up ahead of stormy conditions. Tarps and ropes for securing roofs, batteries and portable heaters, and possibly most purchased, faucet covers.
What we try and do is help the customer not only meet their needs when they come in, but we try and recommend different things for them that they might not have thought of.
Claire Weber, KOMO News.
Claire, thanks very much. As the storms roll in, stay with KOMO on air and online with the KOMO News app. You can get alerts straight to your phone by downloading it for free wherever you get your apps.